Should you go into business with friends?
Wow, Sifa, that's quite interesting. I actually like the comments and the questions because those are the things that we're going to deal with quickly in the last two phases of mistakes and opportunities. So let me start off with the gentleman that spoke earlier about, he lost his business obviously through lack of research and, lack of documentation. Again, as I mentioned earlier on, it's quite important that, yes, you might find a lot of chicken places, but it's also important, like I said, walk in there, eat their food, see what's happening. You can't just assume that there's a lot of chicken places. It means you'll make money. You find that you are missing an ingredient or something in your marketing strategy is not right. So I'm actually glad that he touched on that. And then obviously, again, he had an issue with some documentation and he lost a contract. Again, that's a concept phase. Documents were not in order, and hence that basically implicated, his contract moving forward. Regarding the lady that just spoke right now, it's quite interesting. She mentioned family and and all those things. Look, it is important to protect your identity, your brand, your ideas. Why? It's because you need to implement it first. You need to take it out to the market, before you share it with other people. And I mean, the question that Chris asked about going into business with friends. The challenge I have with going into business with friends is that we are always quick to do business with people that we actually do not have any other relationship but friendship. And the problem is that what happens is that firstly we don't put proper documentation, contracts, MOUs, memorandum of understanding, other contracts that bind us to not people not taking out, monies and so forth within the company. Shareholders agreements, a lot of us don't sign those things. We don't have agreements that say, look, if you don't perform, you go out. So what happens is it's friendship, it's buddy-buddy, let's do business, and the guy will promise you, I've got a contact wherever, and so forth. Guys, let's team up, and guess what happens when money starts coming in? Bad transactions start taking place. So if you want to do business with friends, look, it's not a bad idea, but just make sure that all your paperwork is in order. Let's put friendship aside. Let's put family aside. It's strictly business.
Absolutely. It's almost 10 minutes before 8 o'clock, and I've got another one here from Zintle and says, when you go into business with somebody, should you have a memorandum of understanding? And what is a memorandum of understanding?
Good question. Yes, I touched on that just now. Memorandum of understanding just simply means both of you agree and understand on the concept and the deliverables of the business. In short, I want to open a chicken place. Come along with me, friend, let's go and open a chicken place, right? What are we understanding on? You have 10%, I have 90%, or you have 50%, I have 50%. We are also understanding that this chicken place is a franchise, or the IP or the intellectual property belongs to me. You know what I mean? So it's all those things that we put together, which consist of a memorandum of understanding, which simply means that we are both understanding that we're entering into this engagement to fulfill one goal.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Kofifi Lenders, it's almost 5 minutes before 8 o'clock, and we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to touch on the last two phases, Tabo?
Please.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's take that quick break.
What does it take to build a successful business? Is it perhaps the right connections? Or is it access to capital? What about the access to market? Is there a difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur? How do you know whether you have the right attributes to succeed in business? Can you develop a business acumen, or is it passed down from generation to generation? Join me, Thabo Nxumalo, every Wednesday evening from 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. on the Dear Businessman Show. Visit us on www.dearbusinessmen.co.za. Proudly brought to you by the Daily Wrap-Up Show on Kofifi Fm 97.2, where it all began.
For the love of money, man. And I think we chose that song because you are in business to make money. I mean, what else are you in business for?
Wow. I'm in business to create or to leave a legacy, that's one. Two.
And what is that legacy, my brother? Is it money or is it
it's not
infrastructure?
It's not money. It's infrastructure, you know. I would like to have my name engraved on some wall to say...
You'll have that tombstone.
Well, besides that one.
Oh, okay.
All right. Good one. Besides that one. Basically, 3 generations down,
Yeah.
I would like for them to remember me.
Yeah.
Maponya built the mall. You know, it will stand there for many years. You know, a lot of people have left infrastructures that will remain for years after that. And it's not about me. Yes, I don't mind the money, but we need people that are able to leave infrastructures and environments that will benefit the next generations.
Absolutely, like the Rockefellers and
There we
all
go.
those big
There
families
we
that
go.
have left legacies of money. Let's quickly talk on a vision phase. I mean, this is a very critical point because a vision simply implies that you need to know where you're going.
True. The last 2 phases, Sipho and the Kofifi lenders, is obviously the vision phase and the starting phase. As I said, obviously the concept phase goes along with the vision phase. But the vision phase, the beauty about the vision phase goes also hand in hand with the implementation phase, which is obviously the starting phase. The beautiful thing about a vision is that you know where your business is going. You have the end results of where you want to be. The question is, how do you start? Which is the implementation, the starting phase. So what I love about the vision phase is it's what really keeps you going when you are starting and things are really not working out that well. The way you expected, things to work out. The vision kicks in and says, remember where you want to go. And I always tell people, hang on to that part. Hang on to that part. It's the one that really keeps you going, where when things are stumbling, or when you lose your business and you thought that same business was going to make you a lot of money. You know what I mean? Vision tells you, start afresh. You've just learned a lesson. Let's dust ourselves off and let's move forward.
Absolutely.
And Martin says, choosing who to hire and work with in a startup is very difficult. Now you have to pick them very carefully, or pick your team carefully.
What do you have to say to Martin? And Martin, thank you very much for your comment. I think it's a very important aspect of building a small business is building a team.
Can I be honest with you, Kofifi lenders? Again, let's not get emotional in startup. It's easy sometimes we even get our families involved or our best friends. Hey, Chief, I'm opening a business. Please, let's grow together. But the problem is that person that you're employing doesn't even understand what you're doing because you are starting. So should you feel, and your deepest, guts, if I can use that, your liver,
Yeah.
if it tells you this is not the right person, cut the cords whilst it's still very early. Those guys will drag you down. They'll make you lose your business because you hired incorrectly. How do you hire? One, I always say, find somebody who thinks a bit more smarter than you because they challenge you.
Will they cost you more money?
Well, not really. I'll explain why. There's other guys. You will always find somebody that says, I love your idea. I love your vision. What's in it for me? You understand? Especially in concept phase, in the beginning stages. So it's easy to basically work out a good deal with that person to say, look, this is what I'm after. In a period of 6 months or a year and we have not achieved A, B, and C, know that you're going to walk away with so much and I'm going to continue, my journey. Otherwise, you can go with me through the struggles and we'll come out prosperous. And those guys are the ones who will stick with you through the end. Unfortunately, which is a big challenge with us, there aren't that many of them. A lot of the guys want quick money, and they don't understand that they really have to work hard. Yeah.
Absolutely. And let's say a guy comes to you with a business concept, and you've got your own business to begin with. How do you decide to say, no, man, do your thing, let me do my thing, and I don't think that if I do your thing, I'm going to be diverting from my own thing?
That happens all the time. There's a lot of us these days that have concepts. A lot of us are starting out. The biggest challenge is that you'll find a guy that's starting out meeting another guy that's starting out as well. And we want to try and achieve these starting outs together. Here's a problem, Sipo. I want to sell chicken. He wants to hire our trucks. Two different things. Okay? Always ensure that you team up with people that are pretty much close to what you're doing. If I want to sell chicken and he says he wants to, he does shop fitting, okay, I can work with him because guess what? I can leverage off his expertise by involving him to do shop fitting in my shop. At the same time, I'm helping him by promoting his business because he did business in my shop. You understand? Those are the sort of relationships that we need. If you basically find yourself selling chicken and the other guy is hiring trucks, you are stepping out of your race and you want to run that other guy's race. And that's where the problem is.
Absolutely. Quick advice to Kofifi lenders who are looking to start their own businesses?
Quick advice to the Kofifi lenders is quickly running through the implementation phase. If you want to start a business, I don't know if you've driven in the morning, peak hour, or late afternoon. The guys are in a rush to get to work. Taxi drivers are cutting corners, doing whatever, to get to their destination. The drivers are impatient because they want to get somewhere. When you want to start your business, don't hang around. Don't keep the idea in your mind for too long. Start and move fast. There are sharks out there. There's guys that will cut you that will cut in front of you. There's guys that are going to push you off the road because you're driving too slow, And if you find somebody that's in front of you and they're not moving fast, change your gear to fourth gear or third gear, overtake them, and move into the fast lane. You can't be slowed down by people. Individuals will always try and slow you down. Always move with the idea.
Great stuff. And I think on a lighter note, Thabo, thank you very much for coming through to the Daily Wrap-Up Show and for presenting us with really practical steps and practical ideas as to how to take our ideas forward and make sure that we run with them. And on a lighter note, it's Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Brukate. I just thought maybe let's, I think we're going to ask all our guests for, tonight and tomorrow just to say one special thing to the mother in your life.
Wow. One special thing to...
Okay, maybe not one.
Well, look, in particular my mother, but mothers in general. And my wife, she's a mother to my kids, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes a mother to me.
I'm sure she is.
She is.
Looking by how you sit on your chair. Just messing around.
One thing to mothers is to say, mothers, number one, don't stop praying for us. A mother's prayer is very, very important. Secondly, they have a beautiful gift of producing or giving life. They give birth, which guys can't do. Dudes can't give birth. You understand? So we highly appreciate them. And thirdly, when us men are out there working hard, they are there looking after our families. And I'm sitting here, you are here, all of us are here in the studio because of mothers. So for my mom, for all the mothers out there, my wife, I wouldn't say happy Mother's Day. I would say God grant you grace and long life to see the fruits that you have laid in this earth bear more fruits.
Are you celebrating Mother's Day? Am I putting you on the spot?
You are putting me on the spot.
Okay, you haven't thought that far.
Well.
Okay, let's let it go. Tabo, thank you very much for chatting to us on